I forgot a blazer.
Aren't you home?
No, I'm at my parents' house.
Oh, nerd! Are you in your room, your old room? Is there like a
Shut
Timberlake
up,
poster on
Amin.
your wall?
I don't want to talk about it, Amin.
Welcome to Oddball. I'm Amin Elhassan, and that's Charlotte Wilder. On today's program, another edition of Bold or Spicy? Bold and Spicy?
Or
Bold or Spicy. But first, the headlines.
America. It is with great joy that I tell you that over the weekend, Marcus Smart married Mesa Haloum in a fairy tale wedding, as reported by People magazine in an exclusive. What can I say? Dreams do come true, and this was the most incredible day, Smart said. The beautiful couple said, I do, in front of 300 of their closest friends and family in Newport Coast, California. I don't know what that is. Is that Newport Coast? Is that a resort?
I think it's a little bit nicer than Newport Beach, right? Newport Beach, any riffraff can go. Newport Coast? That's
Oh,
exclusive, yeah.
it's
By the way,
elevated. It's on a brick wall or something.
it's something that I feel like John Tapper would say in an episode of Bar Rescue, where he's elevated the menu for a deeper pocketed clientele.
They've elevated the lawn.
Yeah. I know I'm getting old when I do the thing my parents used to do all the time whenever they hear someone's name and say, wait, are they Sudanese? Because I hear the name Mesa Haloum and I'm like, she sounds Sudanese. And then I looked at the picture, I'm like, she looks Sudanese. Is she Sudanese? Call our tip line right here, 1-800 Oddball, and let us know. I don't know if that number is real, by the way. I just made it up on the spot.
1-800-Oddball has the correct number of numbers to be real, so we should find out where that goes.
Ain't my first time making a phone call.
Among those in attendance were Marcus's former Celtics teammates, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Grant Williams of the Dallas Mavericks, Daniel Tice from the Indiana Pacers, and Gary Payton Jr. from the Golden State Warriors. Not in attendance was me. So my invitation must have gotten lost in the mail, Marcus, because I had a whole best dude speech for you planned and everything.
Elsewhere in actual NBA news, Damian
Throughout
Lillard
the
talks
celebration, the couple served a plated dinner of ahi tuna crudo, gnocchi cacio e pepe, filet mignon with asparagus and potatoes, lobster risotto, and herb roasted chicken. The couple also had a candy wall, fun, and soft serve station, as well as a hookah and complimentary marijuana for an after hours post event snack was Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's. Trash. Absolute trash. Unless they're a sponsor. They're a sponsor, then we love it, especially that Texas toast. Look, you guys butter a Texas toast like no other. It's nice and it's thick. Love it. The chicken, we need to talk about the seasoning a little bit, but you know. Anyways, in other news, Damian Lillard trade talks.
In addition to live performances by rapper YG and Grammy-winning singer Eric Bellinger, who I have not heard of, there was an oil painter, and guests could pose in a photo booth or take shots off an ice luge. To wrap up the weekend, the newlyweds hosted a farewell pool party to thank their guests. After the weekend-long celebration, Smart says they're going to keep the party going with a honeymoon in Bora Bora before he starts training camp for the upcoming NBA season. And I gotta say, folks, Bora Bora sounds lovely, lovely.
In other Damian Lillard specific news, which everyone has been waiting
I do have a best man speech
all summer about this
that I would like to read, just because when am I going to get the chance?
Okay, go ahead. No, please. We
I'm
need
just
more
pulling it up
Marcus
here.
Smart wedding stuff. Yes, no, go ahead. Nah,
Marcus Osmond.
There's not a huge blockbuster deal in the works going on. No. Marcus Smart wedding. Go ahead.
This is my blockbuster deal. I mean, Marcus Osmond Smart. Where do I begin? I won't talk about that trip to Vegas because what happens there stays there. Am I right, Jason and Jaylen? Bro code. Just kidding. In all seriousness, couldn't be happier to see one of my main dudes marrying his main dudette. Just an absolutely beautiful thing. That ring you gave Mesa is the most important ring you'll ever win, man. I gotta say, I do hope that this marriage is strong, durable, and that your new wife won't suddenly ship you off to Memphis after 9 years with no warning. I'm gonna miss you, man. I hope we stay in touch. Listen, you got a good one. Take care of this guy, okay? And mazel tov to the happy couple. Go get him. L'chaim.
His middle name is Usman? Is Marcus Smart Sudanese? Is this a Sudanese wedding?
It could be, Amin. Now are you invested now?
Now I should have been invited. What's going on here? All right. In massive news that the entire NBA community was talking about for the last week, other than Charlotte Wilder, who was consumed with a wedding, Damian Lillard trade rumors are churning back up as we get conflicting reports regarding exactly where he's going. One thing is for certain, the Blazers have kicked discussions into high gear, and the plan is to have Lillard traded before training camps open next week. Yeah, on second thought, Charlotte, do you have anything else on the Smart wedding? I got nothing here.
I just wish we were invited. That's sort of what I'm stuck on right now.
The NBA has defined new flopping rules and flopping violations, and they've been articulated by the snazzily dressed Monty McCutcheon, who spoke exclusively with Sam Amick of The Athletic. Every now and again, there comes a story that is too funny to adulterate in any way with any of our jokes. I'm going to read verbatim some of the things that Monty McCutcheon and Sam Amick talked about from Sam's story in The Athletic. Subscribe now, by the way. Defining a flop. As McCutcheon explained, the referees have come up with an easy-to-remember acronym to help all involved understand the way flops should be regulated. It's called the STEM system. Charlotte, do you know what STEM stands for?
Science, technology, education, math.
Engineering math, first of all. So acronyms, another thing Charlotte's not great at. But no, in the NBA, it is secondary, theatrical, exaggerated movements. To put it plainly, reactions to contact that are secondary or theatrical or exaggerated will be identified as flops. The secondary aspect was highlighted with Minnesota Timberwolves big man Rudy Gobert, who threw his body back long after absorbing contact in the paint. One potato, two potato, now he's falling. The Miami Heat's Kyle Lowry was featured in a clip that qualified as theatrical as he took a hit on the sideline from Smart and then threw himself over the nearby scores table and nearly into the stands. This happened, I think I was at this game when it happened.
Really?
It was hilarious. Yes, it was in the playoffs.
Honestly, that's such a commitment to the bit that I feel like it should be rewarded, not punished.
Well, interestingly enough, it was rewarded. Marcus Smart was called for an offensive foul. But were that to happen this season, Charlotte, Kyle Lowry would be called for a technical foul.
Oh.
Now, in terms of exaggeration, McCutcheon shared 3 identifiers of flops. Considerable distance traveled by flopping player. Excessive flailing of limbs, double arm circles as an example. Potential to have injured another player as a result of having flopped. Now, here's the thing, Charlotte. If you get a technical foul as a result of flopping, that does not count towards your ejection quota, meaning usually 2 techs get you ejected. But of course, that doesn't count for things like calling a timeout that you don't have, right, or a defensive 3 in the key. Those get technical fouls, but they're not unsportsmanlike technical fouls. The flop is also one of these sportsmanlike fouls, I guess. It is not an unsportsmanlike technical foul. Hence, it will not count towards your ejection quota.
So, like, Marcus Smart could have like 10 technicals through in a game now?
Yes.
It's awesome.
As long as they're all off of flops and not off of anything else. Oh, by the way, they've got like a golf style snitch system where
a hotline you can call in.
No, they don't have a hotline, because we do have Secaucus, the NBA referee, the replay center in Secaucus, New Jersey. That's where they're watching everything. So even if you're not assessed a technical foul during the game, you will be fined after the game if they catch you. So all eyes on you, Pat Beverly. Don't think you slick over there, Marcus Smart. We're watching you, Joel Embiid, all of you. Kyle Lowry, you guys are all on the shit list. Speaking of Patrick Beverly, the former Laker guard revealed recently that he texted Jared Vanderbilt on the morning of his extension signing and told him not to agree to it, saying Thursday at 8:18 a.m. I told him, Don't sign an extension. Trust me. Hoop, stay in shape, and I repeat, do not sign an extension. If he would have waited, he could have gotten 4 years, $65 million. Instead, Vanderbilt signed a 4-year, $48 million extension. I'm calling bullshit. Like, unless you got a screenshot of the text, I'm not going to believe it happened. This feels like Monday morning. Okay. Touche. Yeah. You got it.
All right. Okay, Pepev. Speaking of extensions, Vanderbilt's legs? Although he's listed at 6'8", there are rumors that Vanderbilt has somehow grown to 6'11". The 24-year-old Vanderbilt, while on the Title League podcast, addressed the speculation, saying, "They saying I'm 6'11 now, ... I don't know," said Vanderbilt. "That's what the street's saying. I'm just the messenger."
Just the messenger? Motherfucker, is that your height or not?
I just, like, what? I have so many questions. Like, is his PR team trying to plant that he's taller? Like, does he know if he grew 3 inches at the age of 24? What is happening here? Did he get that leg extension surgery that those guys were going to Vegas to get?
The guys from the Manosphere?
Yeah. The guys from the man place.
Yes, this is the Red Pill podcast. Get longer legs.
Joel Embiid has until October 10th to decide whether he will play for France in the 2024 Olympics. My question is, what? Is France going to be like, Joel, we do not want you anymore. Even though you wish to play for us and you're an MVP caliber player, you are too late. We have moved on.
I have Joel like on October 11th showing up like breathless and sweaty with his like paperwork. Like I have the application here. Is it too late? And they're gonna, I'm sorry. The deadline was yesterday. You have to go play for your what is it, États-Unis? Oh yeah. Oh, good luck playing with them. They come far in the World Cup.
The French are supposed to be late, but not in this case, Joel.
Yes, see, our entire bureaucracy was created under Napoleon, so we have not changed it in about 300 years, somewhere like that, maybe 250. My math is not so good.
Joel, go back to
like Charlotte.
How you say Philadelphia?
The baguettes they use for these cheesesteaks are Sapar. We'll be back with Bold or Spicy after this. The Red Hot Chili Peppers are behind Charlotte. That means we're going under the bridge to play some Bold or Spicy. You like what I did there, folks? A little mixed, a little of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Bold
we can't
or Spicy,
stop, Amin.
the game where I read a statement, Charlotte reads a statement. We have to rank each other's statements on a scale of 1 to 10 by how bold or spicy. I still don't know what the difference is. But we'll get it started, Charlotte, with this statement. Bradley Beal's all-star level of play is over. Not just him being called an all-star, the actual caliber of all-star play is over for him.
I think that's pretty spicy. I'm gonna give that an 8 because he's 30. He's been an all-star a lot of times. How many times? I mean, do you know?
I want to say like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, he's.
Is that right?
What is it? He's averaged like 22 points over 650-ish games in his career. I think this guy, I think he's still got it. He's still going. 30 isn't old. I mean, I couldn't have done it at 30, but I also couldn't have done it at 19. So I think Bradley's still got a lot left in the tank.
3-time All-Star, 22 points per game. Wow, look at us. Off the top, just knowledge. All right.
Okay. Here's a spicy one for you. Are you ready, Amin?
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns demands a trade solely because Rudy Gobert is annoying.
2. The only reason I say 2 is because he'll probably demand trade for other reasons as well. So the solely part is the part where I'm like, maybe that's pushing it a little bit. But other than that, yeah, I could see it. Yeah, for sure. Rudy Gobert, man, like, he means well. I think, you know what it is? I think he's someone who, like, learned leadership from, like, reading about it in a book.
and then
Yeah.
thinks like,
That feels right.
all I got to do is hold teammates accountable, and then like just walks in there and does stuff, and everyone's like, what the hell's wrong with you? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, I don't think we talked about the cat interview on Paul George's podcast.
No, what did he say?
Karl Anthony Towns was like, they were like, what was it like when Rudy was added? And he was like, I was in Europe and found out about it on social media, and it was an adjustment. Like talking about it in the polite terms of like, I hated everything about this.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Here we go. Wow. All right. Charlotte, your statement is Steve Kerr is done as a head coach after this year. He's done.
Like a 45. I think that's the spiciest one. Steve Kerr is not gonna hang up his basketball shoes yet. God, really, hang up your cleats doesn't work in basketball. No. I mean, I know that he's done what? He's done everything. 5 championships as a player, 4 as a head coach.
Yep.
Team USA, all that stuff.
Yep.
Why would he stop? He can still do it. I feel like he's a guy who, if he's not doing something basketball related, he'll keel over.
Yeah, I mean, Steve's also like a quality of life guy, so I could see him being like, I don't need this.
I mean, if it were me, I probably would have stopped a few years ago.
Yeah, you quit while you're ahead.
Yeah. Gotta know when to leave the party, Steve, but I don't think he's gonna do it.
Know when to hold them and know when to fold them. All right, what's the next one, Charlotte?
Jaime Jaquez Jr. could win Rookie of the Year. That's your spicy take, Amin.
10. Come on, guys. Rookie of the Year requires like 2 really necessary things. Minutes, shots. That's all it is. If you look through, it's like word count all over again, Charlotte. That's right. If you look through the annals of history, not to be confused with the annals of history, you'll see that the Rookie of the Year almost every year is the guy who averaged the most points. Why? Because people are lazy. They just like scoring. Now, a lot of times those guys are actually the best players in the rookie class, so it's not like they were far off. But like, for old JJJ, as I like to call him, like he's not going to get the minutes or opportunities to shoot that guys like Scoot Henderson, that Brandon Miller, that Victor Wembanyama, that some of the other rookies are going to get. And so, he's not going to win Rookie of the Year. That's easy.
Okay.
All right. Last one for you, Charlotte.
Yep.
Mark Jackson will be an NBA coach again this season. Now, Hollywood, does he have to be a head coach or is assistant coach?
Head, or if it doesn't say head coach.
Just coach. So there you go. It's open season for Mark Jackson to be an NBA coach again this season. Mark Jackson, of course, was part of the broadcast team at ESPN covering the NBA Finals and other marquee games. And he got let go in favor of the new crew that has Doc Rivers and Doris Burke in it. So, do you see him on the sidelines again this season, Charlotte?
Yeah, I mean, well,
1 to 10. That's the game we're playing here.
I think it's a 3 because I don't know about this season. How does the hiring coaching cycle work? Like,
to get hired as an assistant coach is usually what's happened is the head coach got fired. Someone got appointed as the new head coach, and now he needs an assistant coach, and they bring in like someone. If it's someone coming in from the outside being an assistant coach, it is usually that kind of scenario.
Then maybe a 4 because the right head coach would have to get fired in the middle of the season. But I feel like Mark Jackson is a very likely candidate for an assistant. If this were next season, I'd say it's a 1. But I guess the timing of it makes it a little spicier.
Yep.
Okay. Right. Here's yours, Amin. Your last spicy take. The Warriors don't make it out of the first round of the playoffs.
The Chris Paul thing really. I was gonna jump to a 9, but the Chris Paul element, I'm not sure how it works. I'm not sure what kind of impact that has on a team if it's not working. Gonna go 6.5.
Okay.
Like it's still a spicy take. I think, as long as Steph, Draymond, and Clay are healthy, and Looney, I think that's a team that I mean, look, Steph, Draymond,
It
Clay.
sounded like you were saying as long as Steph, Clay, and Draymond are still healthy and loony, like still wacky guys.
Wacky guys, Looney Tunes. No, but Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, and Looney, that lineup had the best net rating of any five-man lineup in the NBA last season.
Really?
So, yeah, they're still amazing when they're all healthy. Obviously, health and availability has been an issue over the past season. The Chris Paul part adds a tricky element because it could either work amazingly or it could backfire disastrously. I don't really see an in-between there. So I'm going to give it like a 6.5.
All right. Man, I'm really excited. The Chris Paul thing is the sneaky drama that I don't think that I'm really excited for. I can't wait to see how that goes.
What on earth is going on with Damian Lillard? There's so many rumors and like so many things coming out, but so few concrete facts.
First of all, what I told you guys months and months ago is happening, which is it's not going to be a one-on-one deal with the Heat and the Blazers. It's going to have to be expanded to include more people. Now, for whatever reason, the Blazers are continuing to let people know that we're available to trade. We want to trade him anywhere. And as such, are trying to drum up this market. But I believe this is all kind of like a fiction. I don't think anyone is actually considering trading for him, or if they are, considering giving up major assets for him. So this is still a Miami Heat thing. It's going to be a larger deal. It looks like it's going to involve Indiana. It's going to involve Phoenix. DeAndre Ayton goes to Portland, and Nurkic goes down to Phoenix, and TJ McConnell goes from Indiana to Phoenix, and Buddy Hield will go down to Miami. Tyler Hero will go up to Indiana, and obviously Damian Lillard would come to Miami. And I believe maybe it's Duncan Robinson, maybe it's Caleb Martin, maybe it's some other guys are also switching spots there. So large, complicated, unresolved, still in the works. That's how I would classify it, honestly. When you hear about the Toronto's, OG Anunoby's the name you hear, but again, I just can't see Portland out of spite sending him there for OG Anunoby, who's I guess would go to Phoenix. I just don't see that kind of haul being enough for everyone, for them to just say, oh yeah, we got DeAndre Ayton and that was good enough.
Right.
Without the picks and without all the other stuff that would be happening with that large Miami deal.
I feel like I've seen fans or people on Twitter being like, would Portland really do that to Dame after Dame's been so loyal to them, send him somewhere he doesn't want to go, and he's made it very clear where he wants to go? Do you think there's like any validity to that? Do you think emotions factor in at all? Or is this just like business and everybody can go to hell?
No, I'm sure emotions always factor in, but like the smart business move is don't send them to Toronto. For a couple of reasons. He's going to reiterate that he doesn't want to be there. The Raptors are going to have to weigh that risk against giving up actual things that they like. And so it overall, it depresses what they could be getting. Like if you find a way to get him where he wants to go, that's probably the path where you're going to get the most amount of good for him. And this idea that like out of spite, you're not going to send him to where he wants to go, that is emotion, but it's emotion acting against your best interest rather than for it.
I think the funniest part of that is thinking of Tyler Hero in Indiana. To me, I feel like Tyler Hero's made himself into such like a Miami guy, like such a like city man, on his like yachts and all this stuff. And then you put him in Indiana. Like, what would happen to his personality?
I mean, let's be real. The kid's from Milwaukee, and he went to Kentucky.
He would revert back to like that Tyler Hero, or would he bring like bucket hat Tyler Hero with him to Indiana?
Oh, you think he'd like get braces again and be like, no, what's happening? It's like Superman going to Krypton. He loses all his superpowers all of a sudden. That'll be funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, enough Dame time. Let's talk about Game Time, specifically the Game Time app, which you can get 20.
Did that have to be a pun?
Yeah. It actually did. It's the terms and conditions apply, and that's one of the terms and conditions. But if you use the code Oddball, you'll get $20 off.
That's not bad. That's really good.
And we have our own code, Amin.
We do. Promo code Oddball, which Guess we should have been telling you guys a long time ago, but we're telling you now. The
Now you
promo
know.
is Oddball.